Hey, 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 hey. Okay. Out to the paper, the grass is always greener. I don't do no labels, I call it how I see it. Okay, out to the paper, the grass is always greener. I don't do no labels, I call it how I see it.
What does the future look like for your podcast?
Called the Third Eye segment. We talk about unconventional truths, unpopular opinions, conspiracy theories,
Okay.
spirituality, all that.
All right.
I was listening to your project, your last one, Anti-Hero. What made you pick that name, and then I'll kind of go into the Third Eye.
The anti-hero is kind of like my villain era. It's kind of like being vindicated, but not necessarily for revenge. It's like the feeling of vindication. But I guess, vindication is kind of like revengeful, so I'll still accept it, but it's just more of like, the energy of it. And just being kind of fed up, I guess. A little bit of fed up, but also, too, trying to allow myself to show the wild side and some of the other inner thoughts that I have, because the last project I did was Colors, and that kind of aligns with the Third Eye segment, too. But Colors was about healing. The whole thing was about healing from like the root to the crown. So going to Anti-Hero is kind of like my shadow side.
That's fire.
Yeah, it's like my light side and my shadow side.
Going to the chakras, going through the shadow work. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. It's literally shadow work. It's like all the other thoughts that I have, the angry thoughts, or if it is a love song, it's like the more, the opposite version of it.
Word.
Yeah, it's the shadow.
You ever heard of the book, The Hero's Journey by, I would say, Joseph Campbell?
I heard of it. I never read it.
Yeah, but it kind of like, it embodies, it's the hero's journey, but it can also apply to like the anti-hero.
Yeah.
It's how like stories started, go with the arc, traumatic start, you know what I mean? Finding
Yeah.
yourself, getting the skills, and
Right.
then kind of like the redemption. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you just painting that picture. You're talking about going from the colors to anti-hero. That's dope that you able to tell that.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like for the character of anti-hero, although I haven't given the space to fully like dive into anti-hero and show everybody what it is, my mentality behind it now, like I said, once again, it's always been vindication. I had an idea, a concept for a project, and I was going to call it Vindicated. And it turned into the anti-hero. But it wasn't going to be those same songs. But it's just been that same theme of like, I'm vindicated. Like, I had like, been vindicated lately. I feel amazing. Like, I got a lot of songs that was aligning with that. That turned into anti-hero. But I was saying, like, the character, I kind of envisioned like a army soldier, kind of like with PTSD. Like I was the hero, and I'm fighting after that to kind of, sort of, in an odd way, it's kind of to prove that you're still the hero. But it's just like you talk differently now. It's like after you go through something, you change.
Valid.
So I would say that. But also in terms of the light side and the shadow side, it's kind of like you go all the way through healing and then you drop all the way back down to the root and you got to start again.
That's a fact.
So it could be aligned in a lot of different ways.
Facts.
For sure.
I can't remember what's the title of the song, but you mentioned alchemy. What does alchemy look like for you?
Alchemy for me looks like every day. I think I'm an alchemist. I would truly say I think I'm an alchemist. I think I can alchemize my emotions, and I can create things. I can alchemize energy. I can alchemize the energy in the room and change the room and shift it. So that's what alchemy looks like to me. Also just looks like being okay with not being okay and being okay with not being perfect, which is duality. Being okay with having a moment. But also you have to be aware that you're having that moment or that you had it.
Facts.
And that is alchemizing.
Absolutely.
Taking stuff and learning from it. That's alchemy.
Right. If you're like the traditional definition is like the process of like turning lead to gold. So it's really taking black people do it all day. Take lemons and
Exactly.
make lemonade, and it's dope that when I see artists that can describe that process without being super direct.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the beauty of art and music and everything that we do.
It's all alchemizing.
And my last question, and just from just talking to you, and this is our first time really like having a conversation.
Facts.
But I can tell like you have a deep spiritual side in the sense of who kind of like or what kind of put you on that path to just learning more about, like you mentioned, chakras, shadow work, alchemy.
I'm not sure. I think it came over time, honestly. Like I grew up around a lot of things. Like I have a great aunt that was always Muslim. Like she's an apostle, but she was also a Christian at a point in time, and she's a pastor. And she, she can preach in a Christian church, and she did, go over it, and then she went back to Christianity. So I grew up hearing about that. Both of my grandparents are Christians, so I had to go to church at a certain point in time. But my mother's not overly religious. She's more spiritual in her own way that she may not be able to understand, but I can understand because I am. So I think, like hearing a lot of that. So I heard a lot of scriptures, and I heard a lot of prayers, and I heard a lot of affirmations. I also seen altars and tables full of pictures, and I seen a little bit of everything. So I feel like I've been able to just take it all and make my own understanding of it and appreciate it for what it is.
Absolutely. No, that's how everybody should do it. Make your little gumbo. Take what works for you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Alchemize it. You know what I'm saying?
Alchemizing it
And transform it into something beautiful. You know what I mean? To present to the people. You've been doing that through your art, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.